my PPT is very fruitful session just now. We learned about pointers and strings and even two-dimensional strings. In this session, we are studying about the very important part of this program, most favorable questions that have appeared and that have already appeared and are definite to appear in your placements, your campus or on or off campus placements. And let me repeat you. So if you have any queries, you can post it to my mail IDs, shrikantks09@gmail.com, shrikantks@stmct.ac.in. And also, you can find the recorded lecture of mine in tinyurl.com Shrikant YouTube, or else go to YouTube and just type Shrikant Shirkul. You can see the recorded lectures of mine. So here, I start with the questions. So I have prepared this slides slightly in a slightly different way than what we had earlier in the earlier sessions. In the earlier sessions, we were explaining the concepts, and then we were asking you the doubts. We were posting you some assignment and some panel questions and all. And this session is totally different from rest of the others. Here, what we are doing is I'm just taking the questions that have already appeared in various companies. Let me actually, Nolgun sir insisted me to put the company name beside the question from where it has appeared. But these questions have been repeatedly appearing in most of the company placements. So that's why I did not place it, or I did not mention each and individual company, just to name it. I have fetched the questions from the Accenture, Emphasis, TCS, Sony, and KPIT, and many more. So these are some of the companies which provides you online C compiler, and they ask you to execute the code, and based on how many times you get the errors, or in a first instance itself, if you get the output, on that basis they will award you the marks. This is how the process goes. It's not like finally getting the output. Also the matter is how many times you have used the compiler. Even that counts for awarding the marks. So you should use as less resource as possible. Okay. So with this, so for doing so, our analysis capacity, our knowledge, and our hold on C should be more. Okay. In this regard, I am starting with my session. The very first question is in front of you. So let us try to have an interactive session here also. These questions, seems to be very simple. Of course, they are simple, but slightly, they are deceiving kind of thing. In a small way, you might, analyze it will take you in a wrong path of analysis, and which might, lead in a wrong answers. So that's why such questions have been set during the placements entrance tests. Okay. So here's a question. Int main. So I'm initializing I and j. I'm initializing j with 0. I'm declaring integer I. There is a for loop which is executing for 100 times. It's a looping statement. And I'm having a statement called j is equal to j++. It's a post increment. Printf value of j is %d. I'm displaying j value. Okay, return 0 because I'm having int type of main function. Okay, so I just want you people to come up with the answers in the chat box. I just want to know whether you all are active, because today already you had 1.5 hours of session. So I just want to check the activeness of all the students who are here. So please come up in the chat box. Are you there, students? Yes. Okay. Display 0 to 99. Snehal answered. Display 0 to 99 numbers. 1 to 99 from Sunita. Okay. So let me have a check. So I'll just take this code. I have a Word file also. I have the same code. I'll just take it in the dev C++. I'll run it for you. So here, just have a check on the output. For for our surprise, the value of j is 0. So it is not matching with the answers that we normally predict, right? So why? What went wrong? What went wrong will be analyzed just now. Just have a check. Post increment and pre increment has a lot of difference. Post increment, a rough analogy I can give, or rough idea I can give with these statements. Whenever you increment using a post increment, these three operations will be carrying out. So what happens is j will be first assigned to some temporary variable in the background scene, and then j will be incremented, and later on that temporary variable will be assigning the value assigned to it earlier back to the j, and that's why you will have the value of the j is 0. Okay, quite surprising. And these are the questions that you can expect in your placements. Quite a teasing kind of thing. It looks to be easy. Let me explain it once again. Students want me to explain once again. Just have a check here. Just have a check. So here what happens is, in this code, post increment and pre increment, there is a difference. In pre increment, first there are two operations are happening here. Two operators are there present here. One is an increment operator, one is assignment operator. Pre increment means plus j. In that case, first increment happens, then the assignment happens. So in that case, the new value of the j will be assigned to the value of j on the LHS, and that will be displayed, and it will work according to your analysis. When it is post increment, here the assignment operator has the highest priority. Assignment operator has the highest priority. That's why, in order to give a rough analogy, I took this. You can just have a check here. So think that j is 0. J is 0 now. J is 0. 0 value will be assigned to temporary variable, and then j plus 1, 0 plus 1, 1 will be assigned to j. We think that j will be 1 will be displayed, but it does not happen so, because it's a post increment. The assignment operator dominates here. So you just have a check. So j will be assigned with the earlier temporary variable value, so which is 0. So hence answer you will be getting is 0. Just try it in your compiler later on after the session. We have a lot of questions, lot of such teasing questions throughout the sessions. We'll just go to it. Even after this, if you have any doubts, please quote the program and post me the questions to my mail ID. Definitely I'll be happy to answer. Okay, so we shall go to the next question now. Next is of enumerations. So enumerations was a topic taken by me in the session 1 at the end of of the session 1. So here enum is a keyword. I'm declaring number, enum number, and its members are A, B, C, D, E. Okay, and I'm printing the value of E, and you can find it here. Here it is %D. I want to display an integer. So what is the answer for this? Always remember, whenever we are working on enumerations, so the first value, I'll just take this code. I'm least bothered about what is the output of a particular program, because output doesn't matter, understanding matters. So that is how I take it. I'll just for your analysis, I just remove this -1 and 4 for a while. This is a simple enumeration declaration which has 5 members. When I execute it, when I display E, let me check what happens. The value of E is 4. Now I change the value of E to A. Let me see what will be the value of A. A is 0. It means whenever you declare enumerations, its member will be assigned with an integer starting from 0. So it will call it as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what I do is I'll go with the code that has appeared in your placements. Now if I assign or declare or define A with -1, then what would happen? I'll just run it and check. So 0 will be overridden by -1 because this is my new value. Now, when I define A is equal to -1, let me check what will be the value of E. I'll check the value of E. I'll print the value V. Now what happens? E's value is 3. How come? So it's because it starts counting from this number. -1 incremented by 1 will give you 0. B will be having value 0, 1, 2, and E will get 3. Okay. And in my question, in the question that I have asked, there is a value assigned to B also. Let me assign value with B equal to 4. Now, can you answer what will be the output of this one? What will be the value of E? So now B is 4 now. What is the value of E? Please come up in the chat box. 7. Very good. I received answer from so many people. Very good. So let me just run it for your cross-checking. So your answer is correct, 7. So hope you got some clear idea regarding enumerations. Okay. So enumerations. So integer will be assigned by default will be 0 for the first member. If you override it, from there it counts 4, 5, 6, 7. It goes on. Okay. So this is the answer for the code. The next question. A similar looking kind of program I had took in the first session. Switch and case. I want you people to just come up with an answer for this. Here what I'm doing is I'm defining integer I with 0. There is a loop statement which will execute for 20 times. Switch I. So when I is equal to 0, so case 0 will be executed and this operation will be carried out. I plus equal to 5 means I is equal to I plus 5. I value is 0 right now. 0 plus 5 is 5. 5 is a new value of I. Now it will go to the next statement. So what is the output that you are expecting? So come up in the chat box. Yes. I is equal to 5 here. Then 5 plus 2, 7. After that, what happens? There is a break statement here. So be careful while evaluating. So there is a printf. I want to print the value of I after coming out of the for loop. Oh no, after coming out of the switch loop. So it is still inside the for loop. Printf is still inside the for loop. We check. Error. Let me just take that code. I'll execute it for you. Same code. There's no change. The answer is 7, 12, 17, 22. Quickly, in a quick phase, I'll explain it here. I is 0. So when 0, I will receive the value 5. 5 plus 2, because there is no break statement here. 5 plus 2, 7. 7 after break. I had told you the difference between break and continue. Break will take you to the end of the loop statement. So it will come to the end of the loop statement, end of the the statement. So here the print, percentage %di, 7 will be printed. So when 7 will be printed again, so I will be incremented by once because it is still in the range. So I equal to 7 plus 1, 8. It becomes 8. So it will execute default value. 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 is the next value to be printed. Again, it will be incremented by once. It becomes 13. 13. So it will execute the default case because 13 is not here. 13 plus 4, 17 will come over here. And again, it will check. I is still in the range. So 17 plus 1, 18. So 18 default case will be executed. 18 plus 4 is 22. So this is a expected answer. This is a expected answer. So we shall go to the next one now. So here, I don't take this code into the compiler. I just want you to just analyze here and come up with the answer. The character C is defined with -64. And let me clarify you, this does not result in error. Take my word, this does not result in error. -64. That's a big confusion that we have at the prima facie, but it does not have an error here. So int I is equal to minus 32, and we are comparing here as long as this value within the range, so it will be able to store the value inside the character. Okay, so character has this, C has this value, so it's like comparing minus 64 greater than I or greater than minus 62. Amongst this, minus 32 is greater, so hence this statement will not be entered. This is false, hence you just follow here. This is open brace, close brace is here, so else part will be executed because C is less than I. Else part will be executed. Printf fail1 will be printed onto your output screen first, followed by it will check if C is equal to I. Of course, it is not equal. Hence, again, else part will be executed. Fail2 will be executed. Fail1 and fail2 will be printed at the output screen. So this is one simple code. Just to have the coverage of even if-else statement, I took this example. I don't treat it as the tricky one. So here's the deceiving kind of program. Deceiving kind of program. So what is the output? What is the output here? You just see here. Char A is equal to minus 2. Character B or character type B is 254. I am printing its equivalent. These numbers, these are ASCII codes. Its equivalent character I want to print. %C of A, %C of B. These two things I want to print. And already I have shown you the code of printing all the ASCII values. Correct? So 254 of course prints the ASCII equivalent. Now we shall check what does minus 2 prints. What does minus 2 prints? We just have a check. Amog, sir, in switch, in each case we have to keep break statement, then how it works. So Naulgun sir have answered it. I just repeat it. If break statement is in each statement of case, then it will come out of the loop, come out of that switch loop. Okay. Yes. Now here I'll just execute it. For your surprise, both prints the same character. You just have a check. Both prints the same character. Why is this so? You know, ASCII codes are defined from 0 to 255. Total 256 ASCII codes are there, right? So if you just, go in that range, if I add 256 to B, what do I get? Do I get 710? If I'm not wrong, not 610. 610 if I'm not wrong. Not 610. 254 plus 510. 510. Let me just add the value 510. Let me see whether the same character will be printed or what. Yes, still the same character. Now again I want to add 256 to it. What do you get? 766. Now again I'll run it. Again the same character. So by this, what is the takeaway? The takeaway is after every 256 value that you are going to add, the same ASCII code is going to be printed. Okay, so that's one awareness you should have. This is how the questions will be asked. Okay. Now coming to the very important question, I rate it to be very important. Just have a check. I have a structure here, structures here, and I have a pointers here. All in one I'm taking in this question, but it is simple. Analyze bit by bit. Int main, I'm defining a structure. You can see here, I'm defining a structure. Struct field. Struct field. Field is a structure I'm defining. Int A is a member, structure member, first member. Character B is the second member. Okay. Now here, rather than defining the variable here, declaring a variable here, I am declaring the variable separately. I can do this also. Okay. Struct field of the same type. This acts as a data type now. Of this data type, bit 1 is a variable of this data type. And it has been initialized or defined. Defined like phi is assigned to integer A and A is assigned to initialized with for char B. So this is the initialization. considering a pointer called P. So how to read it? From right to left. P is pointer to character, or P is a character pointer, remember. Now what I'm doing is, if I just write P, it has to be address. That is what you have learned up till now. Now what I'm doing is, I'm assigning P with address of bit 1. I'm trying to assign the address of bit 1. It is of different data type. Hence, I need to do a typecasting. Typecasting is not only limited to other than pointers. It is also, pointers also involves typecasting. So here, I'm typecasting it to be a character pointer. I'm typecasting this address to be a character pointer. So I'm assigning this address to P now. Now I want to check. I have one more statement called star P is equal to 45. Star P is equal to 45. P has an address of bit 1, which has been typecasted. Now to that address, I'm forcing a content called 45. Now I want to print percentage D, you can check here. I want to print bit1 dot A. This is the way to access the member of the structure. Bit1 dot A means bit1 dot A. Dot A is an integer 1. Bit1 dot A is the first member. That is what I want to print. Now look at here. So star P has been assigned with 45. So whether it replaces 5 or not, that is what we need to check. So I'll just take this code into the compiler for your explanation. Have a check. There is some problem. Yes, I have taken the code now. Same code. Let me run it. 45 is the answer. So it means this 5 has been replaced with 45. So this is the beauty of the pointer. So with a pointer, with a usage of pointer, I'm able to edit on the structure member, which has been initialized earlier. Okay. So now I have written a comment intentionally. What happens if I just change this to 260? I'll just execute it for your reference. It is not displaying 260, it is displaying 4. Can anybody can anybody comment on this? Why 260 is not getting printed on the output screen, but it can print 45? And why it is displaying it as 4 at the output screen? Any answers? Any answers? While I was printing 45, it was fine. Range of the character is 256 from Amog. Nisarga, all are absolutely correct. Then why it is 4? Why it is 4? Concept. For when we forced 45, answer was 45. It was fine. Now, when I forced star P with 260, let me take one more. I have forced 400 here. I have forced 400. Okay. 260 or 400 does not make any difference because it is out of the range. Anyhow, it is out of the range. I have just taken one more example. Okay. So 400, then its hexadecimal is 190. You can use your calculator. 400 decimal, hexadecimal equivalent is 190. And if I write 190 in terms of binary, it would look like this: for 10001, group of 4s. For 91001, for 00000. Character pointer. We have a character pointer here. P is a character pointer. So the memory allocated for it is only 1 byte. So for only it looks for 1 byte from least significant digits, for least significant bits. Least significant byte is 1001000. If I read it as a whole, it will result in decimal equivalent of 144. So 144 gets displayed. So address, think that some random address 1001, 144 will be the content of it, and in 1002 this remaining one out of one will be you will find it in 1002. So you will be able to see only 144 at the output screen. Okay, so this is an important fundamental thing that you should understand. I'll just show the value by feeding 400 into the DSP++. Your answer is 144. It's just because you're going out of the range, and only 1 byte of the address will be displayed at the output, and that is least significant byte. So least significant byte is assigned in least address. Least significant byte, least address. Which kind of the method it is, format it is? It's a little endian method. Intel processor follows little endian method. AMD processor follows big endian method. So remember this. Now we shall go to the same kind of the question. On similar grounds it has been set. Just have a look. So here I am having a is equal to 320. Character pointer. I have defined a character pointer called PTR. So PTR is been assigned with ampersand A. Here it is integer. I'm assigning the address of integer A to the PTR, but it is a character pointer. Hence, there is a need of a typecasting. So I am typecasting it. Character star is a typecasting enclosed in the brackets. So PTR is a character pointer. So address of A has been assigned. Now I'm printing the same. I'm printing the contents of the PTR. So what would be the content of the PTR? Come up with that comment section. Similar to the previous question. Yes, most of you have answered correctly. Is it the answer is 320? Just check it once. Just check it once. I want you to cross check, because check whether 320 can be accommodated in single byte. Can the 320 can be accommodated in a single byte, because it's a character pointer. Hope you're getting. Yes? Yeah, I'll just explain you once again. In the last slide, last question, in the similar grounds, there was a question. Only difference was I had taken a structure there. It would look somewhat complex, but it is comparatively simple. Integer will be allotted with 4 bytes, whereas character will be allotted with just single byte. So hence, the character pointer will be pointing to 1 byte of address. 1 byte, just 1 byte. So you can see here, when I enter 320, its equivalent hexadecimal is 140, and if I write it in its binary form, this is how it looks. But I can store only 1 byte of address, 1 byte of contents. So I'll fetch the least significant, because it's an Intel processor. When I fetch the least significant, if I read it in terms of decimal, the answer is 64. So 64 will be printed. 64 is the answer. Any doubt in this question, in this kind of question? Any doubt? Hope there are no doubts. Okay, we shall move to the next questions. Okay, yeah. Now, a question on pointer. Simple question. I have I integer defined with 3, assigned with 3, initialized with 3, and I am defining a integer pointer j. Then I'm defining a integer pointer to a pointer k. So k is a pointer to a pointer to integer. That's how it is read. Pointer to a pointer it is. Okay, keep it simple. Don't worry. Okay, so whenever I see such questions, I recall the movie that I watched during my engineering days, during my tech days, I guess. There is a movie called Inception of DiCaprio. So wherein in that movie there is a concept of a dream within a dream within a dream, and that movie seems to be very confusing. When you watch it for the first time, I recommend you to watch it and then you think of pointers. So pointers and that MUI you can link it. Okay, so here you should just keep it simple, analyze step by step. Here is just have a check. J is been assigned with address of I. J has been assigned with address of I. K has been assigned with address of J. Just have a check. I'll take a time, doesn't matter. Think that I'm having I value inside this. This is a I value. Okay. And I'm having some address. Let me call it as 123. 123 is the address. So this address is stored in J. Okay. So now J is having some address, and J will be again having certain address. Let me call it as 4, 4, 3, 2. It is one more address. Okay. And K will be having what? K will be having address of J. So this address of J will be put in K. Now you just analyze with ease. Just check here. When I try to display K, what will K will be having? K will be having address of J. So address of J, it's an address. What will star K will be having? Star K means when K is equal to address of J, star K means it's J. Star K is J. What is J? J is again an address. Address of I. Star K means star K is J. Star K means it is star J, which is the content of I itself. Okay. So let me just discard this. Let's take this code onto the compiler. You find such questions in plenty in placement processes. You can see here, this is K, address, star K is also address, star K means J itself. It's address of J, this is address of K, address in the J. So, and this is content. Okay, it's a content of J. That is what is I. Okay, I lies inside the address, or J is pointing to I. That's what I mean. Okay, so if you have any questions, I'll take it. So I hope there are no questions. Okay, so pointers. These concepts are already explained, I think, in Kotresa sessions with leisure, right? So address, and 3. So now we have one more question in front of you. Just in the morning session, Naul Gun sir asked this question before he started the earlier session. So what is given here is int a is equal to 5, b is equal to 10, and c. P is a pointer to integer pointer, which has been initialized with address of A. Q is again an integer pointer, which is initialized with address of B. Means P has address of A, Q has address of B. Okay, and star P means 5, star Q means 10. It's as good as that. Now what I'm doing is P is a address of A, Q is a address of B. These two are address, right? Or else it has address. Now I call it as pointers to integer pointers. Now what I'm doing is I'm doing some arithmetic with the pointers. What I'm doing, I'm subtracting a pointer with a pointer, and I'm assigning it to an integer, C, simple integer. So what happens when I subtract a pointer from a pointer? I'm displaying both the things, %dp, %dq, and I'm also displaying the subtracted value, C. What is the answer that you expect? You can answer in the comment section. If I'm going a bit fast, I'll just go slow. You can give the feedback. Till then, I'll try to copy this code and take it in the compiler. Sorry, something. Yes, here. Yes, I'll just run it. For our surprise, the answer that you get is 1. As per our analysis, P is our address. Okay, it's correct. Q is our address. That is also okay. But when we subtract these two things, if you look at these numbers, there is a difference of 4. But my answer is 1. Right? Quite a surprise. Quite a surprise. And it is expected. It is expected. And that's why I always say the questions are very deceiving. Answer is 1. The clarification is given here. Difference, please remember, difference of two same type of pointer is always 1. Remember, difference of two same type of pointer is always 1. Both P and Q are integer pointers. When integer pointers are subtracted, its value is 1. When character pointers are subtracted, its value is 1. When float pointers are subtracted, its value is 1. Okay, so this is how you need to analyze one of the important questions. Now, I don't want to use a compiler to this question. It's a simple question. What is this? What is this statement? What is this operator used here? There is a question mark. There's a colon. There is one more colon. Right? What is it? There is assignment operator. What kind of this operator is this? Here what I'm doing is I'm comparing ages of 3 people using if-else statement. Without using if-else statement means without using if-else statement means I want to avoid conditional statement. To avoid conditional statement, there is an operator called conditional operator, which is also called as ternary operator. So this is a ternary operator or conditional operator. Okay. So how it works? Just have a check. Enter 3 numbers. I am entering 3 numbers. Let me take person A, B, C. A is of age 20, B is of age 30, and C is of age 40. I am just feeding it and I'm reading it. And here, just have a check. This is a condition check. Whether A is greater than B. I'm checking it. I'm checking whether A is greater than B. If it is true, it is checking the condition. If it is true, the pointer goes to, this is a true section. This is true section. This is false section. Okay. Whether A is greater than B, I have called A to be 20, B to be 30, and C to be 40. So A is not greater than B. So it is false. So I will directly go to this statement. After this condition, I am checking this condition. Now I will check whether B is greater than C. Whether B is greater than C, still it is false. You just see here. This is a ternary operator. This is also a ternary operator. I'm using a nested ternary operator here. Nested conditional operator. So A is greater than B. It is false. Hence I came over here. B is greater than C. It is false. So first term is for true case. It will go to the second term. So C will be assigned as big. Big will be C and that will be displayed. Okay. So this is how the conditional statement executes. Okay. So output of the above program, here the entered numbers are different, 20, 30 and 10. The biggest number is 30. This is how it displays. Now, leap year. You might have come across this question. I still, felt to take it because it's one of the repeatedly appearing question. So rule number 1 for finding the leap year. There are 2 rules, very simple rules. Just have a check. A year is called a leap year if it is divisible by 400. First condition it is. What's the first condition? It should be divisible by 400. Any year, it should be divisible by 400. But there is a condition. It's not an end. But the same should not be divisible by 100. Right? For an example, 1600, 2000, year 2000, year 1600 are leap years. While 1500, year 1700 are not leap years because 1500 and 1700 may be divisible by 100, but it is not divisible by 400. Okay. And rule number 2 states that if year is not divisible by 400 as well as 100, but it is divisible by 4, then that year is also called as leap year. These two rules, I'll take it in the conditional statement. What is the first condition? It is divisible by, it should be divisible by 400. For checking divisibility, the most famous operator used is modulo operator. And it should not be divisible by 100 when out of or of these two operations. And then it should be divisible by 4. So these are the three conditions I need to take care. All the other lines which are not bolded, so it's very simple for understanding. This is a statement which is of prime focus now. If year, whatever year I enter, I am entering some year, I am checking its divisibility by 4. If it is divisible by 4, let me check. So modulo operator will give us the output as remainder. Remainder of division will be 0 whenever it is divisible. For example, 16 is divided by 4. 16 divided by 4 results in remainder 0. Right? So hence 16 is divisible by 4. So that is how it takes. So I'm checking whether remainder I'm getting is 0 or not. Divisible by 4. And I'm checking whether year is not divisible by 100. So you observe here, it is not equal to. Not equal to means year should not be divisible by 100 or year should be divisible by 400. So these are the two conditions which I mentioned in rule 1, and this is a condition which I mentioned in rule 2. So this is what you need to check for the leap year. Single statement, one single statement, you will have the answer. If this executes or if this is true, then and print leap year, else print not a leap year. Just here, look at here, I'm using logical operator double ampersand and here logical or operator. Logical or operator. If any of these two things are true, if any of these two things are true, 0, 1 for OR gate results in 1. And if here a logical AND means both should be 1. This also should be 1. This also should be 1. Here it is not so. Either this or this. So this is how the leap year, code is or logic is designed. If you have any doubts, let me check. I keep on check. People have asked questions on conditional operator. That's your answer. Okay. A percentage U. Percentage U is unsigned. Normally it's an unsigned integer. Okay. Its address is an unsigned integer. That's why. Okay. Fine. Now we'll go to the next one. Very important part of my session, generation of pattern. In your placements, for example, let me quote an example or quote a scenario of KPIT placements that happened last year in our college. I'll just restrict to our own branch, ENC. We are from Electronics and Communication branch. Total around 70 to 80 students were eligible out of 120 or 130. Out of those 70, 80, there was first round aptitude test. Out of 70 to 80, 35 students cleared the first round aptitude training. Second round was the C programming round, wherein they were given 2 programs and with the online compiler, they need to write a code and then they need to execute it. Fortunately, or else it's expected for us, they received both the questions regarding generation of patterns. Both the questions. One was generating some pattern using stars or some characters, and the other was Floyd triangle. Let me tell you what is that. And they had already undergone this training, and the result outcome of that second round was out of 35, I think 34 cleared that second round. Only one person did not clear. All the 34 cleared the second round. So this is the importance of the pattern generation. Please concentrate. I want all your focus for this topic. Okay, so please concentrate. I want to generate this following pattern. For writing a code, you will get n number of codes in the online websites and in the books. But what I have done is, I have made some template. Hope you understand the template. Shortly we have a Ganesh Chaturthi. So Ganesh idols, everyone will not, sit on single idol and they will just make that. They will prepare a template. In Kannada, we call it as Achu. Okay. So they go on feeding the soil onto it and they will take out the idols. So template. If there is some common template, and the work becomes easy. I have tried my best to create a template for you. Okay, so use that template. Just makes few changes. You can generate any kind of patterns. Okay, that's why give some importance to it. Focus to be on this next slides. So I want to generate a following pattern wherein it is 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, and it is inverted in the same manner. The code goes like this. Concentrate on this code. If you don't understand this code, next 20 minutes will be of waste. This is the code which I will be, taking help of for the next 20 minutes. Please concentrate. Include, I am having a function. I'm writing a function called pattern. I'm passing the argument int. Why it does not return anything? Because it's a pattern printing. It does not return anything. I'm starting my main function. Int n. N is number of rows. So in the previous question, how many rows you want? I'm talking about 4 rows here. After that, it is just inversion. Okay. How many rows you want? So that has to be printed here first. I'll scan it and I pass it as an argument to the function pattern. So that thing that I have entered 4. 4 is passed to this function. Now the pointer is at function. I mean the execution pointer is at function. In the function pattern, I have declared 3 integers, I, j, and k. K is for future use. Just don't worry. I said you that I'm creating a template. Some things might not be useful, but it is for future use. Please bear with me for a while. I have 2 for loops here. Just concentrate on the first for loop. Only this section. If you understand this section, the second section can be understood easily. This is to print the first 4. This is to print the first one. This is for first one. This is for the second one. Here, this is first one. This is second one. For I is equal to 1, I denotes the number of rows. Number of rows. Rows. And j denotes the number of columns. Remember, when I is equal to 1 means I am at the first row. What is n? N is the total number of rows. Okay, I need to go to all the rows, right? That's why I have taken the maximum limit to be n. So I increment after every for loop execution. So once I have entered for the first time, when I is equal to 1, I am in the first row. I have entered the for loop. J is equal to 1 means first row, first column. First row, first column. I'll just show you. First row, this is first row. This is row. This is column. This is first column. Okay. First row, first column. What should be printed? See, j is equal to 1. J is less than or equal to I. I is still 1. It means this is going to execute only one time. If I am at row 1, this second for loop will execute only one time. If my I is 2, means if I am at row 2, this j will execute for 2 times. Because here I am taking the condition to be I. That's why. So let me complete the first row now. J is equal to 1. J is less than or equal to 1. J plus plus. Print percentage d I. Print the number row. I am at row number 1. So that will be printed. So 1 got printed. Now what happens? I'll come out of the loop. So I'll go for the second execution. I will be incremented. I is 2 now. I am at the second row. I'll take an entry. So I is 2 now. J, this for loop executes for 2 times. 2 times. When it executes for the first time, it will print the row number 2. Row number 2 is this one. This is printed. And when it executes, because j is less than or equal to I, this I is 2. Second time when it executes, again it prints the second time. Similarly for the third and fourth one. So this prints, this first line prints the first 4 rows. And for the second 4 rows, this is how it goes. Just the inversion. Just the inversion. How to invert it? You just have you are starting from 1. You are writing the maximum limit, right? And you are incrementing here. Reverse it. Assign I with the maximum. I is equal to n, maximum number of row. Here lower limit, and you should decrement. Just the reverse process. Rest everything is same. No change at all. Rest everything is same. When row is at 4 times this is going to print I. That is what is happening. 4 times it is printing. When I decrement by 1, prints 3 times. Decrement by 1, it prints 2 times. Decrement by 1, it prints 1 time. This is how it goes. Shall I take it in the compiler? Meanwhile, I'll just go through the comment section. If you have any queries, I'll answer it while compiling it. Meanwhile, you put your queries into the comment box. Check for. Hope you're following, all of you students. Are you following? I know you might be hungry by now. Please, yes. Thank you. Yes, you're following. So I have taken in the compiler same code. There is no change. I'll just compile it and run. It will ask you the input from your side. That will be scanned as N. I'm giving it as, rather than 4, I'll give it as 5. Let me check whether it works or not. Can just check 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5. Again, it is coming down. So it is working fine, right? It is working fine. Now, students, I just have a question for you. Small modifications we go on doing, and you just see the magic, how the necessary things goes on printing. So if I want to print only upper half, if I want to print only the upper half, this thing I don't want. Inverted version I don't want. What I have to do? How to take out? I'll just comment the section followed by the first one. Just see here. Compile 5 rows. See. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5. Your things are done. Correct? Understood? Getting? Now shall I ask you the query? Now the query is, I want you to display in this manner. Just here. This is a generation of pattern I want. Previously you had 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4 like that. Now I want 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5 like that. What to do? Answer is also on the slide itself. Hope you have seen it. I know you people are smart. So this is the answer. What I have to do? Just replace I with J in the printf statement. Is it simple? Just replace I with J in the printf statement. Just have a check. The bold things have been altered. What is the alteration I have done? Here it was I changed it to J. Here it was J, I changed it to I changed it to J. Let me do the same thing in the compiler. Do the same thing in the compiler. In the compiler, where's the printf? Printf is here. What should I display now? I don't display the number of row. I display the number of column. I mean the column at which I am having. J. It displays the column number. Okay. I'll compile it. Click on 5. I give the 5. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just take out the comment and I run it. What do I get? I get it as 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 here as said, but below I have not made the modification. That's why it is as before, as it was earlier. So for that, I need to change I with J. Simple change. Very simple change. See, your work is done. Hope you're following. Check for the queries. Yes, good. Amog, you have said it right. Lakshmi have a question. Sir, how to print for this pattern? All of you just look into the chat box. She have made an effort to, print a pattern in a comment box. It needs real effort. Okay. Star, she wants to print inverted pyramid. Inverted pyramid with stars. Am I right, Lakshmi? Yes. Okay. So we'll do it. We'll do it shortly. We'll do it shortly once we complete this. Now I have one more modifications to this. I want to print it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 continuously. This is what is called generate Floyd triangle. How to do it? Generate Floyd triangle. Remember this keyword, Floyd triangle. It is nothing but Floyd triangle. The question will be asked in this manner. The answer is here. I'm not waiting for your answer just to save time. So most of you are very smart. You are answering. Initialize k to 1. You know, there was a dummy variable k had placed. It is for this reason, k to 1. Replace I or j in the printf statement with k and increment k. That's it. We'll do it. We'll do the same thing. I'll do the change. So what? So here's a k. I'll just initialize it to 1. I'll initialize it to 1. Now, in the printf statement, I've said you to change j to k and increment it. So let me increment it here itself. Let me check. And Floyd triangle does not have an inverted version. So I'll remove it. I'll take it out. Only small change. I initialized k to 1 and I replaced I or j in previous case with k++. That's it. Let me check whether it works or not. I'll enter the 5 value. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. So it goes on. So what if I give one space here? I give one space here, %d space. Just check what happens. It's looking very neat, right? You can play with around. You can just practice and play with. I'll just share all these materials that I have collected to you after the session. You just work it out. Okay, get well versed with this and try new things. And if you learn new thing, please don't forget to teach me also. Okay. Yeah. Now we'll go to the next one. Floyd triangle. It's a Floyd triangle. I'll just go with the comments. Okay. And there are no doubts. Okay. Fine. Generate Floyd triangle is done. Now I have come to the question that Ms. Lakshmi had asked. But small change. Here it is erect pyramid of stars. She have asked for inverted one. We'll see how to do the inverted one. Before that, we'll go with this erected one. Straight pyramid. Okay. Pyramid with stars. A small change. Again, I have a template. The template mostly resembles the previous templates, but small changes. Here we need to introduce a spaces. Just concentrate here. This is row number 1. Okay. And this is column number 1. Of course, there is nothing here. You should not call it as nothing. You should rather call it as space. Okay. This is column number 2. This is column number, this star is column number 3. This is at column number 4. Like that, this is row 2. Okay. Row 2. Sorry for my handwriting. So this is how you need to analyze. So now, same thing, slightly the variables have been changed. Rather than I, j and k, I am taking row and column. Okay. It will be much more clear for you. Int row c n temp. N is for stating how many number of rows you need. I could have, just directly taken row, but just for simplicity, I have taken it in this manner. Enter the number of rows for the pyramid of stars you need. That I'll be scanning into n. This n, I'll assign it to temp. I have an intention. With some intention, I'm assigning it to temp. For, I'm focusing on rows. I'm at first row. This for loop is for row. This for is for row. That's why I have named it as row itself. Row is equal to 1, and the maximum value row can go to is the number that you have entered. How many rows you need? If you need 5 rows, n will be 5. So this for loop, first it will point to row number 1, row number 2, and it will go to row number 5. And it goes on incrementing every time it executes. It completes execution. So in this pyramid of stars, I'm having spaces with I'm having stars. spaces and stars. Two things I need to print. Of course, spaces are invisible for you, but it should be printed. Spaces should be printed. That's why I'm having two sections. So this is for printing the spaces and this is for printing the stars. Okay, printing the spaces, common template. Please observe C is equal to 1, like J we had taken there. Here I'm taking C. C is equal to 1. C less than temp. What is this temp? I'm not taking the reference of the row which I'm having, because the number of spaces I am printing is more than the row which I am in. That's why don't take that as a reference. Take the reference of temp. Please follow the template first. This is a template. It will help you for further alterations. So temp is number of rows I have entered, total number of rows. Okay, and increment. So what I'm doing, I'm printing the space. You can see here, I'm printing the space. This is a space. Okay, this is a space. And then I'm decrementing the temp, because if you check in the first row, I'm having more spaces. In the second row, I have less space. In the third row, I have one less space. In the fourth row, I have one less space. In the final row, I don't have space at all. That's why temp should be decremented. I cannot decrement n because n is fed by us. It's an input fed. I cannot decrement it. That's why I have assigned it to temp. So temp is decremented. So spaces are printed now. Now what is the next work? To print the stars. So I am in the row number 1. I printed number of spaces equivalent to number of rows, number of n. I printed that much. And now the time is to print the number of stars. How many stars I need to print in the first row? So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 rows are there. In 10 rows, how many stars I need to print? I need to print only 1 star. Okay, I need to print only 1 star. So here, what I'm doing is I'm printing a star here. So C is equal to 1. C is equal to 1. 2 into row is 1 now. Row is 1. Row is 1. 2 into 1 minus 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. So 1 star will be printed. 1 star will be printed. Now we'll go for the second one. I'll take one more and then we'll go for compiler. So row is 2 now. So it has been incremented to 2. So 2 times here. So temp is, I know similar, I have not changed. Temp is decremented by 1. So 1 less time space will be printed. I'll come directly to this. 2 into 2, because row is 2 now. 2 into 2 is 4. 4 minus 1. 3 stars to be printed. You can just check here. 3 stars are 3 star. In the next one, row is 3. 2 into 3. 6. 6 minus 1. 5. 5 stars are printed. So like that, this logic is built. Okay. Very important logic. Okay. With this, I'm printing the star and I'm going for the new space. New line. And hence the pyramid structure is printed here. Just wait for a while. I'll take it to the compiler and we'll see whether the pattern can be printed with the code or not. Already 12:50. We'll stop at 1. Don't worry, students. If anything is left out in my session, I'll continue it in the later sessions. Okay. So pyramid. I'll enter 5 rows. So pyramid is built with 5 stars. I mean 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any doubts? Please come up in the chat box, because this acts as a template. That's why. Any doubts? Any doubts in understanding the structure or template? Meanwhile, I'll explain you the modifications that I want to say. I just complete this generation of patterns and we'll stop. Okay, it'll take another 10 minutes. Here, I hope you understood these two things. Printing space, hope it is fine, because the number of spaces goes on reducing. Here, the more number of space. Here, the less number of space. See how many spaces I'm printing here. 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 spaces I'm printing in the first one. In second, 8 space, 7 space. That's why I'm taking temp here. Okay. So I'm printing 9 spaces in the first one, and it goes on reducing. Okay. And printing stars, I have already explained. Only these two structures, these two templates you remember. We go on modifying only on these two things. Okay. So just check here. 3 statements means a lot. And the Lakshmi question is answered here. Inverted pyramid. How to generate inverted pyramid? With these modifications, you can get it. Before that, printing stars with left aligned. How I can print the stars with left aligned? Just remove the for loop, which places the space. Your things are done. Left aligned it become. Printing the stars with right aligned. How to print a stars with right aligned? By replacing temp in the space, or the for loop with a space with 2 star temp minus 1. I'll explain these two things first, and then I'll take the inverted pyramid. Okay. I'll go to Dev C++. See, I want left aligned star. So here you have got a pyramid now. Pyramid. I want to align all these things to left. What I have to do? Remove the space. I take out this and place it here. I've removed the space for loop and I'll run it. And you can check. There is a left aligned stars. That's it. Very simple. Very simple. Now again, I'll bring it to the normal. So it is as normal as it was before. What happened? Okay, here I showed it. Yeah. So now, to print a right aligned stars, what I have to do is in the very first row, I need to introduce more numbers in the first row. That is 2 star minus 1. This is the number of the rows I want to print. I want to print the spaces. Let me check. 5. You just check here. I have total number of rows is 5. Okay. 1 space. 2 spaces here. Okay. So here what happens is, initially I was placing very less number of space. Now exactly double the number of spaces I am placing. That's why 2 into temp. 2 into temp I took. Okay. So minus 1 because 1 space for printing star. This is now the right aligned one. Only one change. The left aligned became right aligned. Okay. So now, how to print the normal pyramid? Let me check whether it works or not. Normal pyramid. Okay. So now I want to print an inverted pyramid. How to print the inverted pyramid? Read this instruction. The for loop of the row should be set to maximum. There should be, if I set it to maximum, this should be minimum and it should be decremented. And again temp should be n rather than, temp is n here. We need to change it to 1 and I need to increment the temp. Exactly reverse every operations here. You can refer it later. Okay. So I'll show it here. Temp is equal to n. What I have to make it? I should make it to 1. Then row is starting at 1. I should make it to n. If this is set to max, this should be set to 1. And have to change this greater than, less than to greater than symbol. And this row should be decremented. And here temp is at 1. So it should not be decremented. It should be incremented. Fine. And that's all. That's all changes. Yes, that's all changes. So let us run it and check. Fine. And see the inverted pyramid. Same template with 3 changes. I could get the inverted pyramid also. 3 changes. First changes, change the temp n to 1 and I changed this to n, this to 1, this is decremented, and temp it was decrementing earlier because it is starting from 1, I should increment it. So I incremented it. That's it. You got inverted pyramid. I can generate a bigger one also. Inverted pyramid. Any doubts? Hope it is cleared. Hope I cleared your doubts how to print the pattern, inverted pyramid pattern. Okay. Now I have two more pyramid, such pyramids. I'll take it in another 5 minutes, then we'll bind it up. Let us consider the string to be your college name. Can we do this? Definitely we can do this. Definitely we can do this. So what are the changes I need to do? Same template, there is no change. You can see there, row, C, N, temp, everything is same. There is no change at all. But I want to place a erected pyramid. Okay, here you can place inverted pyramid also, but let us go with erected pyramid. You can try with the inverted pyramid. What are the changes I have made? I've made only two changes. Only two changes. Rather than printing star, what I'm printing your college name. What is that? HIT. I'm placing a space before and space after in order to have a perfect alignment. Okay, and star was consuming only one space, and the spaces that you were mentioning that was suitable to that. But here it is consuming how many? It is consuming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. It is consuming 5 spaces. Hence, I need to give 5 times the spaces that I was providing initial. I mean, for earlier. Let me check. Let me show you. I'll change it to erected pyramid. How to change it? I make temp to n. I'm bringing back to erected pyramid. This to n. This to less than, and this I should increment, and temp should be decremented. Simple changes. Now we'll see whether it is erected pyramid or not, and then we'll make this necessary changes. Yes. Now I want to print HIT. How to print HIT? Space HIT space total 5. So hence the spaces purpose, whatever for loop I'm having, I have to print 5 times more the number of space. Hence that is a change I have made. Now we'll check. Execute it. 5. You can see HIT everywhere. It is perfectly aligned. It is looking nice. Right? Hope there is no problem. Are you there with me, students? Please, reply with yes. 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 Okay. Thank you. And now, let me, to keep up your interest, I have 2 such patterns. That's it. 2 such patterns. We'll complete it, and you can go for the lunch. Okay, heavy lunch. Yes, I want to print pyramid with alphabets. It means it is changing as per the row. A, here B, here C, here D. It is not like star, where star is the same character everywhere. I can easily print HIT, same string. I was printing everywhere in the same manner. But it is not so here. Here, every row it is changing. So what I'm supposed to do? Again the small change. Very small change. Just have a look. I have taken the same template, no change at all. Same template I'm having. Enter up till here. This is a change. I'm defining a character called alphabet, and I'm initializing it to A. This is the first change I have made. Then I have started the logic. Same for loop, no change. This is for row, and this is for printing alphabets, because I don't have any space here. It is not a pyramid structure. It is left aligned, so no spaces are needed. So spaces purpose for loop has been removed. Directly I am to the printing alphabets. This for loop is also same. C is equal to 1, C less than or equal to. It was temp earlier, now it is row, because number of character I am printing is related to number of rows. In the first row I am printing 1 character, in the second row I'm printing 2 characters, in the third row I'm printing 3 characters. So the printing depends on the number of row. First row 1 print, so second row 2 prints. That's why I'm taking it as row. Okay, so what I'm printing, percentage C is a character. I'm printing alphabet, so A gets printed. So when row changes to 2, increments to 2. So this has 2. So this for loop executes 2 times, means 2 times it is going to print. First time what it prints? See here. Before it was going to the for loop, it has incremented. Alphabet has incremented means A plus 1. Its ASCII value 1. A's ASCII value is 65. Plus 1 becomes 66. 66 ASCII value equivalent to code is B, capital B. So B will be printed. And B will be printed twice because this will execute 2 times. Row is in the number 2. Number 2 row I am having. So that's why 2 times it gets printed. Shall we make these small changes and check? We'll make the small changes and check. Okay. So I'll go to the dev C++. I remove the spacing, space purposes, whatever I had given, I'll remove it. And then here, temp is not there, I'll remove it. I'll take it out. So what I have to do? I have to char alphabet, initialize it to single quote, under single quote, A, and then printf. What to be printed? Percentage C. Am I right? Percentage C. New line is taken care in the next printf, so I don't bother about it. Percentage C, comma. So what is that? Alphabet. And then in the next row, plus alphabet. Right? Shall we execute it? The side changes I have made, we'll execute it. 5. And see here, A, B, B, it is printing 1 extra time. I think somewhere we need to check. 1 extra time it is printing. 1 extra time, why it is printing? Here it should have been, yeah, here it should have been. I just took it as it is for, star pyramid. You can change it to just less than or equal to row. That was a change. You should learn by committing means that's the best way of learning. Now it is okay. Here, A, B, B, C, C, D, D, E, E. Okay. Now I have a question to you students. What if I want to print like this? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, like that. Every time I want to print the new character. I don't have the slide to show it. Did you understood my question? Every time I want to print a new character, A, B, C, D, I don't want any repetition. How to do it? Very simple way. There is very simple way to do it. Any answers from students? Let it be. I don't tease you much now because the people when they are hungry should not tease them. Please bring this plus alphabet also in the for loop. That's the only change you need to bring. Because the for loops without opening and closing flower braces contains only single statement. Only this statement is present within this for loop. If I want to have multiple statements within the for loop, then I should compulsorily place the opening and closing flower braces. So this is the closing brace. So I want to cover up this plus alphabet within this for loop. Now check what happens. 5. You can see here A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. It is continuing. Correct? And there is one more way to do it without this power brace also. What is that is? I take out this plus alphabet and I place it here itself. Plus. Let's check. Same thing, same answer. Simple. It was alphabet. Now I made it as plus alphabet or alphabet plus. That's the only change. Okay. So I hope there are no doubts for you in this, and I hope you enjoyed the session. In the next session, we discuss regarding placing the space with the alphabets pyramid, and then we have something called Pascal triangle. You might have studied in your first year. Pascal triangle is very important. That completes your pattern generation, and then we have a very important programs wherein we learn the meaning of strong number, unstrong number, perfect number, and so on. There are lot of such numbers. So you can also practice certain things. I'll give you some assignments to work out. See, bubble sort, try it out. Inverted square pyramid of string, your name. Print your name in an inverted pyramid fashion. Display a square or a rectangle in an output screen. Try to execute Newton-Raphson method, implement that equation, write a C program for that. Write a C program to find the area of triangle using Heron's formula. It's you have studied in your class 9th or 10th. Find the roots of the quadratic equation and find its nature, whether they are equal, whether they are complex, all those things. Question yourself and try to give the solution to it. That's the best way of learning. So with this, I want to conclude my session with a quotation. As always, there are no shortcuts to any place which are worth going. I mean to say, there is no shortcut for the success. If the success that you think is the worthful. Okay, so the success can be achieved only through the hard work. Hard work is the only way to the success. This is what I mean to say. With this, I want to conclude my session today. If you have any queries, I'll take it before I conclude, and then I'll meet you in the next session, that is on Monday. I'm looking for queries. Thank you, sir, for appreciating. Well said. Any queries from the students' end? How was the session? Please come up in the comment section. If no queries, yeah, good, super. Thank you. And you will find the same lecture recorded, and I'll try to upload in the YouTube. And because we are staying at our home in this lockdown season, it's pretty difficult for us to upload in a quick manner. It takes a lot of time. In the very first session, the first session took almost 6 to 7 hours to get uploaded. 6 to 7 hours. And let me tell you, I have Wi-Fi with 30 Mbps upload speed. With that also, it took a lot of time. I don't know what's the problem. Okay, so please cooperate with us. And certain lectures have not been able to record. Those things will record it, and we'll try to upload it in the after this course. And we'll see you on the Monday session. The slight changes in the session that we had earlier planned because of the drag sessions of us, because this is the first time we are conducting this C pointers in C program in the online platform. Till these days we were physically presenting to the students, hence somewhere our calculations went wrong. It is consuming more time. We promised Edali sir that we will be completing this course within 8 hours. Already 8 hours are done. Monday, I think every day we took 3 hours. Monday, I think again we will take three more hours of you. I'll be covering up my rest of the session within 30 to 40 minutes of the Monday session, and then it will be continued by Naval Gun sir. Okay, so on Monday, I request you to join the session at 9:30. Okay, so 9:30 fresh will start with the session. We'll conclude by 10:15, and thereafter Naval Gun sir will be continuing it. Thank you, students, and thank you, organizers. Over to you. Over to Suresh Akkole sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Pramod. Pramod.
Yes, sir. Please. Thank you very much, sir. First of all, I wish Dr. Sidligesh Navalgun sir on his special day. Happy birthday, sir. And I think I thank him for his wonderful session on pointers and strings.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Then I thank Shrikant Sirkol sir for his very informative session on the C programs, and it was very interactive one.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I also thank Kotesh Murali sir. Thank you, sir. And lastly, I thank all the participants for participating in taking the benefits of it. And as it has been mentioned by the sir, the next session will be planned on 10 o'clock Monday. So I will be posting the link by 9:45 on the same day. Thank you very much.
Sir, Pramod sir, sorry to interrupt. Pramod sir.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Sir, I just requested students to join the session from 9:30 itself, if possible. I did not take your permission before announcing.
Okay, okay.
Is it
No problem.
okay if we start at 9:30? Because I have left with some part of my session today.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. I will post the link by 9:15, so they
Okay,
can
sir.
join by 9:30. Sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.